Hey everybody, Tim and Julie here for a half Dune movie. Jodorowskys Dune. So this is a documentary, came out 2013, which is actually kind of crazy that this documentary, I saw it in theaters because one of my friends, I was working at a comic book shop, and he was like, hey, let's go see this movie. And I was like, okay. Almost 10 years ago. Yeah. Like, that's how old this documentary is. But I feel like it held up really well. Yeah. So the David Lynch Dune came out in 1984, and Jodorowsky had been planning on making a Dune movie before that, like the early 80s, late 70s even. Got very, very far into filmmaking, that we'll talk about in a minute. Cast everything, got a lot of different artists and stuff, such as Mobius and Giger, who was later famous for the Alien movies, stuff like that. And then it just went away at the last minute, right before starting to film. And this has happened before, and there's even other documentaries. Like Tim Burton was supposed to do a Superman movie. Cast everything. Nicolas Cage was Superman. There's even pictures of him in the outfit and testing it, and then just stopped midway through. There's a good documentary about that, like whatever happened to Tim Burton's Superman or something. So for you, before we start going through all the celebrities and everything like that, what did you think about the Dune that was never made?
I mean, it was different, you know, than the last movie we watched, but I liked how I made the book. Yeah, and take me the rest of my life to read it.
I would give anything
to have it.
To have that book. Like, I would give my house to have that book. And he said there's only two ever out there that still exist.
Yes.
I bet that book would be amazing.
Yeah, I liked how the detail and, you know, and you can tell there was a lot of effort, you know, and time put into it. Yeah, it was.
Like you said, like something like that had never been done before.
Right.
Like at that time, and even today, directors get their scripts and they go and they make their movie. I mean, you have storyboards and stuff like that, but nobody had actually made a book, basically a Bible, shot by shot, everything done. Like there's the entire movie in a book.
Right.
Like that would be incredible. Oh.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was very interesting.
Which, like we've said, so we're watching all of these movies to get ready for the new Dune to come out this Friday. He said, this documentary came out 2013. He said, like, they could make this today. They could take this book and just you could make an animated movie. You could do whatever you want. It's 8 years and we're coming out with another live action one. But why has that not been done?
Right.
Like, why has somebody not watched this movie? Like, I mean, there's so many billionaires and millionaires out there. Like, I mean, realistically, I don't know how much it would cost, but like, why has somebody not been like, here's some money, animate this movie?
Right.
Because it would be breathtaking. So, I don't even know where to start. There's so much. We'll get the celebrities out of the way because we like to do that. We got, let's see. He talks about the Baron, who's going to be Orson Welles. Yeah. That's just mean.
Yeah, mean, but yeah, Orson Welles was a pretty good guy.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been worse. I guess he could have said Marlon Brando. That would have been, because he was kind of known for being a bigger guy.
Yeah.
But
Orson Welles fit.
He does have that like deep, commanding voice. Yeah. David Carradine as Duke Leto. So, do you know who David Carradine is? Like Kung Fu, Kill Bill for the younger generation. He was going to cast his own son as Paul, which is kind of weird because, like, it took them like 2 years, he talks about, to get all of this ready. And he was 12 when they started, so he would have been like 14, 15. But, I mean, if you look at, like, Kyle MacLachlan, I don't remember the actor who played him in the sci-fi one, and then Timothée Chalamet is playing him in the new one. They're all in their 20s. So a 16, 15-year-old kind of would be weird, but whatever. It's been a long time since I read the book. I don't know how old he's supposed to be in the book. Dolly as the Emperor. Now, I know he's an artist, but that's about the extent of my knowledge for Dolly. Getting paid $100,000 a minute to be in this movie. But he was only going to be in the movie for 5 minutes, so. But still, $500,000?
Yeah.
$500,000 for 5 minutes? Wow. So in the David Lynch version, Sting plays the nephew, and he was going to have Mick Jagger play the nephew. Now, I don't know if that's a coincidence that they both got singers or what the correlation is. And they don't interview Mick Jagger in this, so we don't even know how far that got. Let's see. They talk about Pink Floyd was going to be part of the soundtrack. I don't like Pink Floyd. I hate Pink Floyd. Jordan likes them. I don't know, like Brick in the Wall. Like I can never get into it. He did edit a lot of the book. So, for example, some of his story, his own unique story, was the Duke was actually castrated by a bull at some point. And the Lady Jessica gets pregnant by taking a drop of his blood and like impregnating herself with the blood. Which is completely different than the book. So I was like, that's kind of odd. Like he talks about like wanting to stay faithful and stuff like that. And then he talks about like, nah, I completely changed it. I was like, that's weird. I don't know. It's short and sweet.
Yeah, but it was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that somebody put in that much time and effort and
money.
And money, and then they say, nope, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Probably my favorite part of this whole documentary is where he's talking to the interviewer and then just stops to pick up his cat.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, if I was doing a documentary, I mean, we've done that in these videos.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's kind of odd. I would still, like, I would love, I don't think it would be as great as he thinks it would be. Because, I mean, it is a little pretentious. And especially towards the end, where he's like, because of my Dune that was never made, we got Raiders of the Lost Ark, and we got Blade Runner, and we got The Matrix, and we got Prometheus, and we got Alien, and we got this and that.
Yeah.
Like, we got every movie ever made because of my movie. Like, I was like, you need to calm down a little bit.
A little bit, but yeah, but you get, to me, that would be some kind of recognition that, hey, yeah, it was good enough. I mean, it wasn't good enough for us to do your movie, but it helped us develop these other movies.
Right.
And so you're getting your recognition.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that's the other thing, is like, he basically stopped making movies after this. Like they said, he didn't do another movie for 23 years. But it's, I don't know. I feel kind of bad for him. But I would love to have seen this. Like, animated or something. What kind of gets me, looking at the artwork of the characters, especially like the Baron and stuff like that, it's very colorful. Everybody's got like splotches of red and green and blue, and it's just like the movies we've seen previously have been very stark. Like they're wearing all white suits. In the sci-fi one, like the Baron was just wearing just like his red weird spandex thingy. Every movie has been very, very flat. Whereas this, like, they look like clowns, where they had like giant makeup and stuff like that. And I was like, that's just a completely different portrayal. And I was like, that'd be really interesting.
It would have.
Alright. That's about it. Like, this is pretty short and sweet, because it was just, I mean, it was never made. So all we can say is, like, I would love to have seen it.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts for what could have been, or what you really liked, or what you think would have worked better for this?
No, not really. It just, his detail and drawings were just fascinating. You know, it could have been some big, movie that unfortunately didn't get made.
Sad. Which, I don't know. If anybody ever watches this, like I said, if you can get me a copy of that book, I would love that book. Okay. I almost cut it out. Okay, what I think is also interesting, like I said, so he cuts out, or he changes the book quite a bit. Probably the most interesting thing to me was the very end, where he actually said, like, he kills Paul. Like, Paul dies. And then everybody around him kind of takes up that, like, no, I'm Paul. No, I'm Paul.
Yeah.
And, like, it goes back to the whole religious moment that I talked about in the first Dune, where Paul the person died, but the idea of Paul overthrowing the hierarchy has spread.
Right.
I loved that. I was like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So this could have been a great movie. I get angry every time I watch this documentary because I'm like, why is this not a thing?
Right.
But who knows? We still got one more to go.
Okay.
All right. Any other thoughts?
No.
No. Are you ready for the last Dune?
Yes.
4 Dune movies. We got it. Okay. So for those who have seen Jodorowskys Dune, the documentary from 2013, go ahead. Let me know what you guys think. If somebody out there has an availability to the book, I would like to know. Thank you guys for watching and subscribing, and we will see you guys next time for Dune.